What up, guys? Your boy BZ back again with another video, and something I mentioned in the Q&A video, you guys seem to have an interest in the time I was detained in Canada. Um, yeah, so let me tell that story. So there was this concert thing. It was called the Beatdown Fest. I went one year and we sold a lot of stuff. And this place, it was in upstate New York. We're from Detroit. So if you go around the lake, go in Ohio, Pennsylvania, that drive is about a 12-hour drive. If you go through Canada, however, it's more like a 4 or 5 hour drive. So the first year we went the long way around the lake and all that. And the second year I was like, well, I don't want to do that. So let me go through Canada and get there a lot quicker. So back in these days, I had a 2006 Saturn Ion that I was using to cart everything. So my car was absolutely stuffed. I was going by myself, and I had clothes like boxes of clothes in the front, tables and stuff in the back, and in my trunk I had these big giant subwoofers, so I couldn't fit anything in the trunk. But I basically had clothes and equipment in the entire car. It looked like I was moving to Canada or something. So I'm going over the bridge, and when I get to the customs on the other side, on the Canadian border, they basically grill you like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? Do you know people? They give you like the once over, and then when they're done giving you the business, they let you know whether or not you can even go in Canada. So they ask me what I'm doing, and like a dummy, I tell them where I'm going. And I tell them what I'm doing. I tell them that I got products and all this stuff. And essentially what they equated it to was I was smuggling commercial goods into Canada for sale into Canada without paying Canadian tax. And I mean, that's a big thing, like everybody's got to pay tax. And that wasn't what I was doing. I was like, hey, I'm going to upstate New York. I showed him the flyer on my phone. I was like, this is my logo. This is where I'm going. I'm not even selling stuff in Canada. And the guy was basically like, oh, you're using us as a stepping stone, eh? And I'm like, well, not really, but I am planning on cutting through so I could go to New York. And the guy was kind of an ass. And I definitely understand what the concern was, because technically I was bringing products through Canada without them knowing what they were or how much they were worth and whether or not I was going to be offloading those products in Canada illegally. So it definitely makes sense. But in the future, like what you need to do if you're on this end, like I was, what you have to do is you have to hire a third party company come and they evaluate all the products that you're bringing. They assess a value. So if I was bringing $10,000 worth of products through Canada, I'd have to pay Canadian sales tax on all of those products, right? So like their sales tax is like, let me know down below, what is your sales tax? I don't know. But it's higher than where it is in Michigan. So I'd have to pay it all up front, bring the products in, go sell them at the show, and then I would have to have the same company see all the products and assess a value. If I sold $2,000 worth of those products, in like 1 to 2 months, they'll give me a refund for the $8,000 worth of products that I brought back to the US. So it's like you pay sales tax on all this stuff, and then you got to wait a month or two just to get your money back. And that's kind of what happened. I didn't like go to jail or anything. They didn't take any of my stuff. They were basically like, well, you can't cut through here, so you got to go the other way. And by that time, I'd already spent like 4 or 5 hours in Canada waiting for them to destroy my car. They literally destroyed the inside of my car. They broke stuff. They got everything everywhere, like wrinkled everything, took stuff out of the packaging, had dogs in my car. So by that time, there was no way I was going to make it to the concert to sell stuff. So I ended up not even going in the first place. Like I literally just went back to the office, unpacked this stuff, ordered replacements for the things that they broke. And I never went to Beatdown Fest ever since. I don't even know if there's been a Beatdown Fest. But to be honest, that was one of those situations where I was like, it's not worth it. Like to pay the Canadian government all this money for something that I'm not even selling there, it's just not worth it. Whereas driving 12 hours to like a hardcore show in New York, that wasn't worth it either. And that's something I preach a lot on this channel is like pick your battles wisely, because you might think there's an opportunity somewhere. Somebody might be trying to give you an opportunity, but when you weigh the pros and cons, it may be a detriment. It might not be an opportunity altogether, and you're just going to have to politely decline. But yeah, enough of you guys were asking me about it, and I thought it was probably interesting to somebody. So why not hop on this camera and tell you about what happened? Hopefully you found it entertaining. If you guys want to know more stories like this, I have 8 years worth of stories like this. Leave a comment down below and let me know. If not, leave a comment down below and let me know who you are. Let me know what you want to do with your life, because I want to know you guys more and I want to actually build a following. I don't care about the number of subscribers. I care about the fact that you and I have an opportunity to be friends through the internet and maybe even in real life. But that's your boy BZ. I'm out. Stay royal. Peace.